Welcome back. In this video, we're going to be making this console table. It's kind of a multi-use table. You can use it for multiple things, but it takes 2 pieces of wood to make this. Very low cost, and I know for a fact that it can sell for over $150. If you want plans on how to make this, I will have them available with a link down in the description. And just so you know, I put a lot of time into my plans. They are very detailed and very step-by-step oriented. And again, you can get them off my website. But without further ado, let's go. You could probably start at the table saw by ripping the pieces down to width if you would like, but in my opinion, it's going to be easier to get them all cut to length at the miter saw. I'm going to use my stop block so that there's no measuring and marking. If you have a stop block system, it's certainly easier, but if you do not have a miter saw, no problem. Just measure and mark it. Use a skill saw or a jigsaw. We're going to get everything cut to rough length and then go to the table saw and rip everything to width. And now, of course, all the pieces except for 3 of them get ripped down at the table saw. The excess, I would just keep it. There, especially as many scrap wood projects as I do, keep your cutoffs, even as small as they are, they can always be used for something. In efforts to make this a little bit more decorative, I'm going to add some cut off kind of dog ear angled cuts on our 2 side long pieces. I'm going to do this on the miter saw, but if you do not have a miter saw, you can use a square like this, put it where you want it, and make the cut. So I'm going to mark each side of each piece and then cut it out on the miter saw. Okay, all of our pieces are cut to length how we want them, and it's time for assembly. As with assembly on most of these type of projects, you only need 2 things, glue and a nail gun. You don't have to have a battery operated one. You can have a $30 nail gun that you got used. It's really not a big deal. If you do not have a nail gun, you can use screws if you'd like. You can also just use glue and clamp it together and wait for the glue to dry. Not the end of the world. So let's get assembling this. I'm going to assemble the blocks to the bottom of the legs first, and then we'll kind of build off of that. Add some glue on here, line her up on all the edges, tack her in. Once again though, make sure you're using 1.5 inch nails or less because you don't want them to poke out. I have found the 1.25 inch is good because it is going to sink down a little bit. So if you use right at 1.5 inch, it's probably going to poke out the other side. So 1.25 inch works pretty good. You just don't want something long and having nails blow out the back. Next leg piece. Legs are now complete. You can see how there's a gap right here. Maybe on this you can see the gap. It's because this is cheap lumber and it's a little bit cupped, but we're going to make it work. It's a rustic style piece anyway, right? So we're going to continue on here with getting our bottom shelf piece put in place like this. I'm going to nail down this way as well as through the outside and into the piece like that. But we will put a little bit of glue on here. Glue is going to be your best friend and the strongest option for holding everything together in this project. There's certainly stronger options, joinery options, but attach that assembly to this side leg. After we get everything kind of lined up here. Okay, now we are going to put these sides on, and I'm actually going to lay this down just to make things a bit easier. That way I can use gravity as my friend to put this down. I'm going to grab some setup blocks so that I can ensure that the overhang on each side, the reveal, is even on both sides. Right now, if these are not perfectly square, they could be in or out. I just don't want it to be wonky. So let me get some setup blocks and we'll use those to help get this in place. So for those that don't know, setup blocks look like this. It comes in a kit. You can get it on Amazon. I will leave a link down below as well as every other tool for all my projects. But you have different sizes that are machined metal. So you know that the sizes are not going to change. So I'm gonna just put 2 blocks together to make up the size that I need. Kind of hold this on here, and that's not the right size. This is the right size. And we'll double check if that can come out. Well, let's double check our measurements here. So we'll put a little bit of glue on here and get one side nailed in first. And it probably would have been smart to add glue on this side before I tacked that side in, but I'll try to get a little bit of glue in there. And then again, setup block to get this spaced out right, so we can get this side nailed in. One side complete. Flip it over, repeat the process. The last piece, the final piece of assembly, is putting the top on, and this should match up flush on these sides, that side, as well as the 2 outsides. So we'll get this lined up here, and again, we can apply a little bit of glue and put this bad boy in place. Assembly is now complete. As per usual with finishing, you could just do a clear coat, you could apply some sort of stain, you could do stain and then whitewash, you could pretty much do anything you want. I'm actually going to spray paint this gray color. I've done some projects this color in the past and I think it looks nice. So I don't feel like painting it on with a brush, so spray paint is going to have to work for what it is. Now I'm going to let the paint dry on this bad boy. I'm going to turn on my shop air filtration system. I'm going to leave to get some of these fumes out. If you don't have a shop air filtration system, they're not that expensive and I highly recommend one. I'll leave a link down below if you'd like to get one for yourself. And just like that, this project is complete. Now, what the heck would you use this for? Well, it can be an entry table. It is rather small and rather short. It can be a console table. It can be an end table next to your couch. If you wanted to turn it this way, your couch would go here, say the armrest of your couch. You could sit drinks and stuff along here. But again, you could put it flat up against a wall like this, maybe put like some little plants or some knick-knack decoration shelf items on there. In my opinion, it's a great size for just displaying something small. Maybe you put a guest book at an event on this. You're not gonna eat dinner at this, right? But the biggest thing is that it's cheap and easy to make and it can sell for good money. Let's talk about the money. I'm not going to expose or mention or throw rocks at or bash the person or the entity online, but I know for a fact this table, basically this same design, can sell for over $150. We have 2 boards worth of cost into this. You can make some good money with this is what I'm trying to say. Do your own research, you know, whatever. If you would like plans in the hand, full plans, step-by-step, very detailed on how to build this, I will have them available on my website and there will be a link in the description so that you can get them. For now, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Take care.